I think content and the accessibility of content is something that has increased only because of OTT, and it's really changed the game. I think the good thing right now is that it's you don't look down upon any medium, be it short films or shows or television or films. It's pretty much the same as long as it's good.
Hi guys, this is Ankita. You are tuned into PeepingMoon.com and this is our best of 2020. But there is no best if you don't acknowledge performances, acknowledge content when and if there is no diversity. And who better than Sayani Gupta to tell you that how a diverse content legitimately she has a lot to tell you about it can make opportunities count, can open so many windows and start so many conversations which more or less somehow in this industry doesn't happen often. I know 2020 has not been one of the best years, but hey, the content has been never so great. So let's bring her on. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. You tell me for the content if I have to give you 2020. I know it's not like one of the best years overall if we talk about it, but just as an artist, someone who creates content, has this year been any different? Has this entire setup changed anything the way you see content now?
Of course, it has. I mean, everything has changed, the way we looked at life and the things we took for granted. And we've realized that, no amount of planning can actually help you, because we were and still are, in a situation worldwide where everyone is um, really, suffering in many ways, in different ways. But there is a lot of suffering, there's a lot of hardships. And I think content and entertainment has come really as, if I can, it, as a fresh, like as a breath of fresh air, to not only to entertain but also heal. And I think we all sort of, and even people who are part of the entertainment business have looked at content, and it has probably made survival a tad bit easier. And of course, I am talking about a much more privileged section of society. But I think we always, historically, have always looked at art, be it poetry, be it music, be it paintings, or be it cinema. And especially during the pandemic, we have, there is so much content that's come out during these few months, 9 months, and everyone's consumed so much content. And there is always this unsatiable hunger for content that we have seen. And also, one major difference that we've seen is that people are still not willing to really go to the theaters yet, until the vaccines are out. None of us, and in fact, one of my very some of my friends' film Ibaliu, which is again something I would like to talk about. That's released on the 18th. But Sir had released, and these are amazing films. But it is very difficult to pull people to theaters, unless it is one of those huge films. Even Tenet has released, but not many people went to watch even a Tenet. So I think content and the accessibility of content is something that has increased only because of OTT, and it's really changed the game during the pandemic, especially. And the good thing is that I think people and the audience have now understood what good content is and what good cinema is and good shows are and good performances are, good writing is. And now you can't really fool them any longer. They're watching content from all over the world, and they are really lapping up good content. And hence you see that, a show like Scam, which doesn't have anybody who is really known, has done so well. And it's such a reassuring feeling for all of us that, wherever there's talent, whatever is well done and well produced and well directed and written and performed, the audience will love it, so it's quite wonderful that way. I really think that's like a little silver lining beyond this excessive amount of suffering all around.
Sione, you had a lovely year, I would say. You opened with a bang. We were just entering into lockdown and we had four more shots.
Right.
The success was immense. The acceptance, the conversations, the topics which even the show brought up even then was immense. Be it from Emmy nomination to bagging award at the Asian content and then Akune. I mean, you yourself gave so much diversity and it was such a beautiful year per se. If I have to ask you to shed some light as a performer, what 2020 was for you? How would you sum it up?
Actually, professionally, it's been a good year, and I can't believe I'm saying that, because I've had three releases during the lockdown, which was, one was the British show Good Karma Hospital,
Mm.
where I play an acid attack survivor, and of course, Four More Shots and Akune. And again, Akune being such a small film, and of course, they had plans to release it, and that didn't happen. But even on OTT, we saw enormous support and appreciation and love for the film, and it's very gratifying, honestly, yeah. And honestly I've had a working lockdown. I've been doing like multiple promotions, and I shot for a non-fiction show for Netflix. I'm shooting for a British show online, like this, like virtually I'm shooting for it. I did multiple campaigns, over I think 20 campaigns I did from home. um, and of course, I'm doing something really exciting for Audible and Amazon, and of course, Tanishq Ad. And it's really been very, very, very great, gratifying, and I can't tell you how grateful I feel, because, and I don't want to just sound boring and philosophical, but truly, when you see the amount of people who have lost their livelihoods, and and lost their jobs or pay cuts and etc., you can't help but feel even more grateful, that you are able to work through such a tough time. And I'm so grateful. I really don't have any other word. And I honestly, that's why I've also had a big realization that we will all have tough times and easier times, and when, times when you feel like you're flourishing, or times when you feel like you're flying, and there are times when you feel really down and under. And of course, the pandemic, with personal, and for all of us, there have been so many deaths and things like that. But you realize that whatever, I have had this realization that whatever I make, or whatever my resources are, I'll have to share it with people who don't have it. And I'm not coming from a condescending or patronizing place. I genuinely feel that uh, we need to share, and share, constantly keep sharing, with with people who don't have it right now. And I'm hoping things will change, and we'll all flourish at some point. But it is a very tough time, and I can't, all these questions, I'm sorry, I keep bringing back to the fact that this these 10 months has been very, very different from anything we've faced. And especially, we are generally, we have extremely busy lives and hectic lives. And I think in yours, it was the first time we were all home. And I, in fact, was alone for 7, 8 months. Um, and that obviously gave me and, many of us time to, and thankfully, because we didn't have to go out and fend for ourselves at that time, and we had the comfort that many others didn't. But, what happened as a result was you couldn't help but introspect, and constantly think what is happening, to the world and to yourself, and what is important, what is not important. And you're constantly running behind things. And I'm somebody who's always have loved multitasking, and I love really running around. I love a life of chaos. I love hopping between sets, and and everyone has their own way of living life, and following their path, and everyone has a unique journey. Until now, I've always been somebody who's like always running. I love running, and I love trying to not set goals, but trying to do many things at one time, because I'm again, as I said, I'm not easily satiated. So I need a lot of things, and I need everything to be perfect and things like that. And my team knows that. But I think the lockdown has really calmed me down, and I'm like, you know what? It's all going to happen. It's fine. It'll happen. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. There is no point pushing things. So that's been a big realization again.
Uh, Seoni, you have always been very vocal when it comes to content. Like in the past, when I have read your work and I have heard your interviews, you've been of an opinion that let's not restrict content to mediums. Like, let's not just, categorize if there's content. A content is a content at the end of the day. You can't say that
Yeah,
70 and an OTT screen can bifurcate between any good story.
yeah.
Do you think no matter what, how much we say or not, if nothing, 2020 has given us the window where, we have this on and off power in our hand and we can switch to good content which we would like to watch. And maybe indirectly, in a manner, even audience are ending up supporting things, the stories which were hidden, I guess. Somewhere we were running behind too much of bling, and now I think we are home watching the stories which we really want to see.
I think I mean, we are a country that always has loved cinema. We're obsessed with films and great. I mean, it's one of the best things about us. And I have grown up watching a lot of content, and I think the good thing right now is that it's you don't look down upon any medium, be it short films or shows or television or films. It's pretty much the same as long as it's good, as long as it's engaging, and it's good storytelling, and that's what's most important, which is good storytelling. And as an actor, though, anyway, there is no difference. In fact, during the lockdown, um, there's so many short films of mine that have people are watching now, like one of them being Detour, which so many people keep posting about and messaging and things like that. And I had done it like 3 years or 2 years ago, and actually 3 years ago. And it now people are watching it, and it's on Hotstar. That's why, like, today somebody called me because finally they watched Leeches on Amazon or Netflix, and then they were like, oh my god, what a film. And so thanks to lockdown, I think people are also sort of finding older content, and it's still making sense and it's still relevant. In fact, our short film Shameless has qualified for the Oscars, and we are still, I mean, we are working towards that one goal. And it's wonderful that it doesn't matter what the medium is, as long as you've told an interesting story.
Is it is do you agree this is the best time to be in the content business? I would not say actor. I was talking to someone, and Pratik Gandhi was telling me that I think this is the best time. Like, this couldn't get any better, because he was like, I couldn't have imagined anyone accepting scam like 5 or 10 years back, and that too on an
Yeah,
OTT, or even if
yeah.
it's say in any format. But now he's like, it's so endearing that after a good struggle of 15 years, people are still calling me a debutant. But I'm okay that finally at least people are watching, and that's what matters the most. You think it's the best time to be in the business?
Yeah, yeah, I've always said it. I've been saying it for actually the last 3 years that it's the best time.
Exactly. Yeah,
But
you have to be very vocal about it.
but yeah, but it really is a very good time, and I can't think of a better time, honestly, because of opportunities. I mean, everyone has an opportunity today. Again, with OTT, you can make varied kind of content, and which is something that everyone needs. From writers to filmmakers, directors, technicians, obviously actors, everyone. And that's why different kind of people are saying different stories, and that's why you see so much variety. So there is no longer just one formula film that works. The hero, villain, heroine kind of formula, 3 songs, and it doesn't work anymore, because everyone's interested in different stories. Every time there's a different story being told in a different way, people are lapping it up, and that's why a scam is doing how it's doing, a Patal Look is doing how it's doing. So if you see, like, everything that has come, even on Amazon, for example, everything that has come of through the lockdown, be it Mirzapur or Patal Look or Fomo Shots or Panchayat, or these are all so different. So it's absolutely amazing. And yeah, you know, again, like Pratik, you're saying, he said that the heartening thing is that people are accepting talent and people are respecting talent. And that is, I think, a very, very internal change that has come about.
If I have to ask you, what was the good work you saw this year? If you have to sum it up, I know it's a tough one. There has been a lot of good work, but
Oh,
if
there
you
has
have
been
to give,
amazing work.
if in the
I
Indian
think,
genre, if I have to ask you, can you just give me few names, any field, be it?
yeah, I mean, this year, if you're asking, I loved Patalok, and I mean, Jaideep is a very old friend, and he's a senior from FTI, and we always knew he's a brilliant actor. But it took for an Avinash, who's also from FTI, you know, to see it and to believe um, him with the script, and also to you know, it's again, filmmaking is a collaborative work, right? I mean, you have to, and I know that the and I was obviously talking to them as well, because the understanding they had as a team and as a maker, and of course with the writers and director and DOP and the actors, what they were creating was so, just so fantastic, and I was so immensely proud of them. So definitely Jaideep's work in Patalok and Patalok as a show. I really liked Pratik in Scam. Again, I hadn't seen any of his work earlier, and I'm so glad that he's doing so well, you know. And it took one show after so many years to really set him apart, and you know, put all the limelight on him, and it's fantastic. And he was so, again, I actually messaged saying, you know, he was so poised, and he was so uh, just so natural, you know, just so relaxed. And one of the things that many actors, I mean, including all of us, struggle with is relaxation. You know, it's one of the very key things in acting. And he was so relaxed through that performance, which is why he was able to do it so well. You know, he was not trying to do it. You know, he just did it with so much grace and elan, and it was fantastic. Um, yeah, I think Indian shows where I've actually written. In fact, I really enjoyed Unpaused. You know, the new thing that has come on
Okay.
Amazon. I really enjoyed Tanishta's short film, and I haven't seen the whole thing, but I really enjoyed Tanishta's short film and Avinash's short film. Again, Kumbalangi Nights, you know, is one of my most favorite films ever. Jalika 2 is there online, which everyone should see. It's India's official entry, but you know, it's a brilliant, brilliant film again. Um, yeah, I think these are my favorite Indian shows.
If lastly I have to ask you, Shioni, if there was one thing you would have, okay, it might not be the nice word, but if you would have stolen one performance, like you would have done it, like just hypothetically this year, like something you would have jumped to had it come your way.
Um, I don't know, you know, but definitely when I was watching Scam, Shreya's part, and Shreya is a dear friend. Shreya's part is definitely something I would have loved to play, but she's done a fab job, so I didn't need to. But it was really lovely, and it's a really well nice part. And yeah, man. But you know, I really think that everything, you like something because it's, I mean, of course I would have loved to do Queen's Gambit, like come on, like no questions asked. I wish it was me. She was brilliant, you know,
Anna,
the
yeah, Anna
actor.
was lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, she's brilliant, and she's so unique, and she has, I mean, she's, you don't forget, you can't forget her, you know, you can't forget her, get her face out of your mind, you know. But given a choice, I would have loved to play it. Yeah.
Finally, Sioni, while we part ways, do you think we are finally in a space in our Indian cinema in general where, you know, uh, I don't know how to sum it up because there have been people who have this lovely conversations that it's really time to let go of all the stardom. It's really time that we don't have to get haggard by the fact that, okay, we have to make this much money and that much money. And it's time to tell stories, be it in any format, because this is the time where even the audience in general I can talk about, because we when we interact with normal people, they're
Right.
aware, they're legit aware what they want to watch. and it's no longer that they are being forced upon to watch anything. So we can finally say your last parting was that we are in a space where yes, we own what we watch, sort of thing. Like,
I don't think it's happened now. I have always thought that's the case. For me, there was no other way to look at it. I always thought the audience was extremely intelligent, and it was just the chicken and egg situation where makers said, "Oh, audience wants this," and the audience was like, "Oh, but we're only getting that." I always believed that we cannot um, we can't uh, assume that the audiences won't understand. Why not? Because we are an extremely why would you question the intelligence of the audience? If you give them good content, they will understand and like good content. And I've always believed it, way before I came into films, because I was an audience, and I still am. And I believe that a good story well told will connect with everyone. Of course, you might love something a little more than somebody else, but still, with a few exceptions, mostly a good story always gets. And again, cinema is, we we are talking about emotions. We are talking about imagery. We are talking about things that evoke people, things that you relate with, and when you see it on the screen, or you aspire to become, or things like that, and or you get inspired from. And of course, it is meant to transcend. And I don't think we should think our audiences are stupid. I don't think they were ever stupid. If you give them good content, they will appreciate good content. And uh, and truly, I'm not in this because I want to become a star. I'm in this because I love what I do. I love acting. I enjoy being on sets. I enjoy collaborating. I enjoy learning, and really telling stories. And I'm here for that. I'm here to make films, and I hope I continue to do so. And there was nothing else, there would be nothing else I would want to do, apart from making films, or be attached to cinema in some way or the other. So, and I am not here because I want a bigger car or a bigger house, or a mob outside. That's not why I'm here for. And I don't think, again, everyone has their own way of looking at this, but my journey is very different, and it has been very different. That's why, because I'm only here and hungry for good work. And there is nothing beyond money. No money. Money is important for survival. Of course, we all need money, and we all hope that we get paid well. Of course, there's no denying that, but that cannot be the goal of things. And I'm mostly, I choose projects that don't pay me so much, and I say no to the projects that are way better paying projects. But I always choose the films that are smaller and are more interesting stories. So yeah, that's where my space is.
no, but that space is beautiful because I just find it good when I've been talking to people all throughout the year. It feels so good that we are finally moving beyond the conversation of jokes and sex and nudity and abuses. And if you're finally talking sense, we're talking cinema, we are talking stories, and it's just not actors anymore. They are storytellers, directors, and cinematographers. We're talking about everyone, all under one umbrella. And instead
Yeah,
of just always, as we say, we see the negative. There's so much positivity. I think this one year made me also realize that there's so much positive to see when we come to content, and
absolutely,
so much more we can discover. But
absolutely.
thank you so much. It's always lovely chatting with you, someone who
Thank you
loves
so much.
content genuinely. I know you do. Whenever I talk to you, whenever I've heard you in the past, it's always you've been very clear. So this really makes a lot of difference. Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
much.
Thank you. Take care of
Wishing
yourself.
a great year ahead, and I hope when we connect next, we discuss more content. And wishing you all the best for Shameless. Let's
Yeah.
cross our fingers. Maybe this time we break the jinx and bring it home.
Thank you. I hope so too. But yeah, hopefully, when we are speaking next time, the vaccine is here and everyone's better off and better and healing, and the world is healing, and have a very, very, very beautiful Christmas and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Yoni. Thank you.
Thank
Lots
you.
of love.
Thank you.
Thank
Lots of
you.
love.
Bye.
Bye.